This is a cat, and unlike what most people think, it's not allergic to mice or dogs. It's actually allergic to humans.
Huh?
Well, not exactly humans, but something we constantly carry around without even noticing. And that's just the beginning. One of today's animals is allergic to sunlight. Another can't even touch grass without getting sick, and one can have a life-threatening reaction to a single insect sting. Nature usually makes animals perfectly adapted to their environment, but somehow these 5 ended up allergic to the very world they're supposed to survive in. Number 1. Cats. Cats are among the most successful predators on Earth. They have excellent night vision, sharp claws, sensitive whiskers, and hearing that's far better than ours. Whether they're living in a house or roaming city streets, they seem perfectly built for survival. But here's something surprising. Some cats are actually allergic to us.
Huh?
Well, not to humans themselves, but to the tiny flakes of dead skin that constantly fall from our bodies. These flakes are called dandruff, and they're floating around almost every home. While they don't bother most animals, certain cats develop an allergic reaction after repeated exposure. Their immune system mistakes harmless proteins in human skin cells for dangerous invaders. As a result, they may develop itchy skin, excessive scratching, hair loss, red patches, or even recurring ear infections. In humans aren't the only problem. Cats can also be allergic to pollen, dust mites, mold, certain fabrics, flea saliva, and even specific foods like beef, chicken, or dairy products. Ironically, while millions of people say they're allergic to cats, some cats are busy having allergies of their own. Fortunately, veterinarians can usually control these allergies with medication, diet changes, and by reducing exposure to whatever is causing the reaction. So, despite sharing our homes, both humans and cats sometimes end up sneezing because of each other. But if you think that's inconvenient, wait until you meet an animal that's allergic to the biggest source of energy on our planet, the sun. Number 2. Chinese Crested Dog. This unusual-looking little fellow is a Chinese Crested Dog. Most of its body is almost hairless except for soft fur on its head, tail, and feet. Because of its appearance, it often wins world's ugliest dog competitions. But its strangest weakness isn't how it looks. It's sunlight. Well, not because it's actually allergic to the sun. Because these dogs have so little fur, they lack the natural protection that most other dogs enjoy. Their bare skin is directly exposed to ultraviolet or UV rays. Spending too much time under strong sunlight can quickly cause painful sunburn, just like it does in fair-skinned humans. Repeated exposure can also increase the risk of long-term skin damage and even certain skin cancers. That's why many owners apply pet-safe sunscreen before taking them outdoors. Some even dress them in lightweight shirts designed to block UV rays. Imagine needing clothes not because it's cold, but because your own skin has almost no natural protection against sunlight. The irony is hard to miss. Dogs evolved to spend their lives outdoors, but selective breeding gave this particular breed a body that needs extra protection from one of nature's most common elements. Thankfully, with proper care, these dogs can live long, healthy lives. But while sunlight is easy to avoid with sunscreen, the next animal has a problem with something floating almost everywhere around it, something you can't even see. Number 3. Horses. Horses have been roaming grasslands for millions of years. Their entire digestive system is designed to eat grass, and they spend most of the day grazing. So you might think grass could never be a problem for them, and you'd be mostly right. They're usually not allergic to eating the grass or touching it. The real problem is something far smaller, the invisible pollen released by grasses during spring and summer. Some horses have immune systems that mistake this airborne pollen for a dangerous invader. Instead of ignoring it, their bodies launch an unnecessary immune response. The result can be watery eyes, sneezing, coughing, itchy skin, and constant rubbing against fences or trees. Some horses scratch so much that patches of hair begin to fall out. Others react to tiny mold spores that grow inside dusty hay, producing very similar allergy symptoms. Veterinarians often recommend reducing exposure during periods of high pollen counts, soaking or steaming hay to reduce dust and mold, or providing medication when necessary. It's a strange situation. An animal perfectly adapted to living in grasslands can still struggle with tiny particles floating through the air above the grass. But pollen isn't the only tiny thing capable of causing serious trouble. For the next animal, the danger arrives with wings. Number 4. Dogs. Dogs are famous for their incredible noses. They can detect explosives, track missing people, and even smell diseases long before medical tests do. But sometimes even these amazing animals lose a battle against something much smaller than themselves, a single bee. Just like humans, some dogs are allergic to bee or wasp venom. For most dogs, a sting is painful but temporary. For others, it's a medical emergency. Their immune system reacts far too aggressively, releasing chemicals throughout the body. Within minutes, their face can swell, breathing may become difficult, and blood pressure can drop dangerously low. This severe allergic reaction is called anaphylaxis, and without immediate veterinary treatment, it can become life-threatening. Dogs are especially vulnerable because they're naturally curious. They chase buzzing insects, sniff flowers, and sometimes even try to catch bees with their mouths. As you can probably imagine, that's usually a terrible idea. Fortunately, most dogs never experience such severe reactions, but those that do often require emergency medication and careful monitoring after every sting. Sometimes the smallest creatures can cause the biggest problems. And speaking of tiny creatures, the last animal has an allergy caused by something you can't even see. Number 5. Humans. Wait, humans? Yep, we're animals too. And one of the strangest allergies ever discovered affects our own species. It's called a sun allergy, or more accurately, certain conditions where exposure to sunlight triggers an abnormal immune response. For people with these conditions, spending just a short time under the sun can lead to itchy rashes, painful bumps, redness, or blisters. Scientists still don't fully understand why it happens. The leading idea is that sunlight changes certain molecules inside the skin. The immune system then mistakes those altered molecules for dangerous invaders and attacks the body's own skin. Instead of protecting us, our own defenses become the problem. People living with these conditions often wear protective clothing, wide-brimmed hats, or apply sunscreen whenever they go outside. Some even plan their entire day around avoiding the strongest sunlight. It's a reminder that allergies aren't caused by something being dangerous. They're caused by the immune system making the wrong decision. And that's exactly what connects every animal we saw today. The cat wasn't harmed by human skin itself. The Chinese crested dog wasn't fighting the sun. The horse wasn't at war with grass. The dog wasn't defeated by every bee. And people with sun allergies aren't allergic to daylight because it's poisonous. In every case, the immune system simply mistook something harmless or normally manageable for a serious threat. Nature usually builds animals to fit perfectly into their environment, but every now and then, biology throws in an unexpected flaw. And those rare imperfections often become some of the most fascinating stories in the entire animal kingdom. If you enjoyed discovering these unusual allergies, there are plenty more bizarre animal adaptations waiting to be explored. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.